Okay, guys. Moving on to movie news number two. Today, Viacom, CBS, the Viacom company, they have announced that their streaming service, CBS All Access, will now be going by a brand new name. And I say by now, this will take effect next year in 2021, but they are changing the name from CBS All Access to Paramount Plus. Now, this article is coming to us from Deadline, and the article goes on to talk about some of the whys the reasonings why they did this. The president of Viacom and Paramount Pictures, why are they combining their services together, and what is it that we can expect to see, or rather, what can we expect from this new change in name? And I got to tell you guys, they don't have an answer. They don't have an answer as to why CBS All Access is changing its name from CBS All Access, or rather, why Viacom has decided to change the name from CBS All Access to Paramount Plus. I can go ahead and speculate, and of course, that's exactly what we're going to do here. I would speculate a little bit. We have services like Apple TV Plus. We have services like Disney Plus. And, there's other services like Netflix and Hulu and, a myriad of different things. James, is there, I know Scott. Oh, James is gone. James completely left.
Oh, no.
Oh, there he is.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, there's James.
I'm here. Yeah.
Oh, so I told you before, you guys, my streaming software has decided to resize our guests on screen. So when I came back to James, you can see we see a big zoom in of his wall over shoulder. So James, we'll leave you right there for a moment. Sky TV. I know Sky is very big in the UK. Which is where you live. And excuse me, everybody, while I go ahead and resize James's picture here. It's very annoying. Sky is a very large entity in the UK. Do they have their own streaming service?
Can you hear me?
We can.
Sky. Yeah. Sky has, which is quite expensive to get on. But I think, to be honest with you, I think the majority of people are on Netflix. It's the only problem with Netflix is the amount of films on it is not to my satisfaction.
Sure, but the name of the streaming service from Sky is called what?
Now
it's
TV.
Called Now TV.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and with Now TV, you get subscriptions to Action, Sky, this, that. You've got a lot of channels.
James? I think we may have just lost James. Apologies, James. If you're still there, if you're still watching, give us a call back. We'll try to pipe you in. It sounds like the connection wasn't working too well. It was kind of crackly and dropping out there for a second. But James, if you are there, give me a call back and we'll try to. Hopefully, the connection will improve and we can. Get you back on the show. Anyway, like I was talking about the speculation here with Viacom, I don't exactly know why Viacom has decided to change the name from CBS All Access. Oh, James is back. Okay, here we go. James, are you there, buddy?
Hello.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
Did you get that?
Yes.
I did.
Okay, so James is back. I'm not entirely sure why Viacom has decided to change the name from CBS All Access to Paramount Plus. The article from Deadline goes on to say that they don't even really understand why this is happening. All that I can tend to think of is they're trying to streamline and be more in line with all the other streaming players. They're not adding any new content. I mean, CBS All Access has a whole bunch of content on board. They have all their Star Trek stuff. They have Twilight Zone. They have other projects coming out, like other television shows coming out. I don't know if there are any plans for original films, which would tend to make me think there probably are, being that they're changing their name to Paramount Plus, but nothing has been announced. Absolutely nothing has been announced in this regard. And it seems kind of a superfluous move or a redundant move. James, you hear about the news of CBS All Access changing their name to Paramount Plus next year in the year 2021. They're not adding any new content. From your purview, does this seem like a silly thing to do, or do you think that they have a grander plan behind them?
Yeah, I would say it does seem a bit silly in the sense of you have to keep up with the competition in any walks of life. And if you don't,
But what's the competition,
you
though?
wither
That's my
and
question. Like, what's the competition? You know,
yeah,
what are they competing? I mean, they were leading. You may not be privy to this knowledge, being from the UK, but they were some of the first ones to launch their own streaming platform, long before NBC. Long before, well, I guess ABC had Hulu, but it was all muddled and it was all connected and whatever. CBS All Access was one of the very first services to launch their own streaming service, I guess. One of the first networks, may I say, to launch their own streaming service. And I remember, like 6 years ago, everybody was complaining, like, if I want to watch stuff on CBS, why do I have to pay extra for it? Why can't they just include all the Big Bang Theory stuff in Hulu? Because that's what all the other big networks were doing. ABC and NBC and Fox and a few other networks, they were all streaming their shows on Hulu, and you have ads, so you watch your ads and then you watch the show. It was it wasn't a free, it was free for the consumer as long as you want to watch, as long as you're okay with watching ads. But then CBS All Access came out, and you pay $6 a month or something like that for the CBS All Access service, and then you get access to their whole library. Now they're changing the name from CBS All Access to Paramount Plus. Do you think that they have grander plans in the future for what it is they're going to release on their streaming service, or do you think it's just going to be more of the same?
to be honest with you, I do believe they've got some marketing because over here we haven't got that many streaming sites. To be honest, we've got, I don't know if you ever when you came over, Channel 4. We've got all four. We've got Netflix, Now TV, which is Sky, and I think the main one over here is Netflix, followed by Now TV. But yeah, to go back to your question, well, yeah, they've got to come up with something because people are running away with it. Over here, for example, I don't know if they're trying to market it for the UK, but Netflix is up there at the top. Nobody talks about anything else, and I suppose that's a problem over here, is the fact that we don't really get CBS or HBO Max or these kind of other platforms, and because we're only a little tiny island, so I don't know if it's those companies actually saying, oh, we're not going to try and target those because we've got how many people in the USA?
Yeah, about 300 million plus. I don't know, something like that. Anyway, guys, the big question is for you guys. Does this make sense to you? Do you think there's something that I'm missing? Is there something that I'm leaving out in the conversation here? Do you think there's bigger plans and do you think there's going to be a large rebranding marketing push for this? Do you think that they have some really cool things down the pipeline? Do you think CBS All Access is going to turn into more of a service like Netflix or HBO Max? HBO Max has got some incredible original programming. Do you think that's what CBS All Access or Paramount Plus is looking to accomplish with their rebranding service? Jump on down to the comment section below and let me know your thoughts. Okay, guys.